Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the internet. My name is Whelsko, and welcome to another episode at the Business Behind Gaming, where we take a look at how business is done in gaming, or at least in the gaming industry. And today we're going to talk about Star Wars and the licensing of skins within another IP, basically. The added benefit, of course, with Fortnite is that it's a multiplayer game with there's a story like of the island, but there isn't like a dedicated linear story to it with set rules. It's more of a basically it's more of a world than an actual story with people in it. And with that, you can basically change the world up a little bit without, having the people in your story be completely out of touch and completely surprised that all of a sudden Star Wars figures have entered their world. So, that being said, the Star Wars skins is then of course a perfect opportunity to add into your game and to make a quick extra buck. So let's celebrate Star Wars, because this of course has to do with the May the 4th be with you, and that is of course a national, or I don't know if it's national, it's more of a Disney orchestrated yearly celebration of Star Wars to celebrate the franchise. Although I think after the performance of the last movie and the one before that, I don't think there's much to celebrate. I mean, if they added Baby Yoda in this, then it would be of course the thing. Oh, that's what they should do. I can't even press the button, check it out. Item shop. And of course you can see when we started they changed the background to the stars of a galaxy far, far away. But to be honest, dude, what a missed opportunity. Baby Yoda took the internet by surprise. Like, the internet Baby Yoda made the internet go explode and made people slightly excited again for the Star Wars franchise, because The Mandalorian definitely did something great. But you know those pets they have with Fortnite? Most likely you will know a few of these, like the doggo and the chameleon and the dodger. They had a lot of backlash. Not a lot of people liked them, but I mean, I think they're cool. I love them. They also have like a little personality and stuff, but they should. Ramirez, for example, is my absolute favorite, but they should have like Baby Yoda in here, like, as a pet. And that's more of a cool idea for me than anything else, because how cool would that be? Because truth be told, that would make them so much more money, I'm assuming, than whatever the hell this is. Also, if you're having a promotion with a different franchise, it's not the greatest sign in the world that said franchise is all the way in the back, that I have to scroll. What first gets most attention, and that's this. So that's not a good sign, eh? But like, think about it, because we have to think about it. This one was from a pretty cool thingy in the 7th movie, a pretty fun scene. But like, look, we have a Sith Trooper. I mean, it's cool. And then we also have a normal white stormtrooper, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Rey. A lot of people had issues with her character. I'm not getting into that, whether it's good or bad, but there were people having basically issues with it. And then of course we have Kylo Ren, which most likely a lot of people also had issues with it. The character arcs in the latest movie are just all over the place and don't make sense. And if the character arcs aren't good, then people can't invest in that character. And if they aren't invested in a character, then their emotional connection to it is less likely. And in terms of business, that means that they are less likely to buy. Now, of course, you have a lot of these pickaxes and gliders, which are, pretty cool. Not gonna lie. But I mean, kind of expensive, don't you think? Then again, it's Star Wars, and the beautiful thing about established IPs such as Star Wars, especially Star Wars, is that you can add a little bit more for basically the same thing because a brand name is attached to it, and a official brand name always gets more than a cheap knockoff, for example, which makes sense. That being said, there is one issue that we do have. The elephant in the room is, of course, that EA and Disney made a deal that they EA could only make the like Star Wars games. So EA is the only one at the moment that can produce Star Wars games. However, this theoretically you could say, like, you know, it's a little bit of a Star Wars game, and most likely it's only for publishing. This is more of a game that they already existed and then they got added on top of it. So, you know, I'm not gonna be doing, you know, making it too hard on them, but you know, it's stuff to think about, I always like to say. That being said, like, I'm telling you, like, this could make so much money, because the last movies, they flopped. Both the, you know, basically the two last ones, they flopped massively, but absolutely massively. Especially if you compare that like a franchise like the Marvel Comics or Extended Universe, I think it's called. Those movies, like, almost everybody loves them, but like, you know, Star Wars, except for The Mandalorian. The Mandalorian had such great reviews. That was absolutely amazing. So what I don't get is why they don't simply make like this guy, give him a few, you know, like what do you call it? The, you know, like a jetpack here, and then what else does a Mandalorian have? He has like this thingy, and I think he has like an antenna or something like here. You know, it's like, it's not that far off to make it. And then like you give him like a baby Yoda or a blaster or something. That would sell. Oh, that would sell so much. I don't understand why they don't do it. They have the pets, they have the ideas, and they, you know, have the license already. People would love that, I think. And the new season of Mandalorian is coming, so maybe they still have it, because this is, of course, the first time that Star Wars has been added to Fortnite. So, of course, you have the gameplay element. Now they are lightsabers that you can use to block, what do you call it? Block bullets with it, and then you can use it to melee people, which is nice, and then of course it makes you feel a little bit better if you bought this skin, because you can play a laser, but with the laser sword. But of course, a lightsaber, excuse me, before I piss off somebody. But of course, we have to keep in mind, like, those aren't staying in the game forever while you do keep the skins. But then again, like, it's a win for Disney, it's a win for Fortnite, because if two people can work together, it always ends up being something a little bit better than if, you know, Fortnite decided to take this Rey skin and basically don't call it Rey but call it something else, and, like, I don't know, give different color hair, you know, put on a hoodie, you know, you know, basically make a different skin, but make it look like Fortnite basically had a they basically inspired by Rey, some type of deal. Because of course you most likely will have heard the controversy recently a while back, that Fortnite was stealing dancers left and right, and that basically everybody who saw the dance immediately recognized, oh, that's from Carlton from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, or that's from Snoop Dogg. And of course I think Carlton from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, I don't even, is it Carlton? I don't know precisely, but you know, Will Smith's main buddy in that movie, I'm way too young to have known that stuff, basically sued Fortnite for the dances. And apparently you can't copyright the dance moves, so Fortnite was in the clear. Wasn't a good move because everybody like knew it and they gave it a different name. So I mean, this is way better because, you know, everybody knows it, it's official, and both companies profit from it, both the Epic Games and Disney, of course. would be very weird if this is completely free from Epic. You know, like if Epic Games only had. If Epic Games only kept all the profits, would be really weird. But that being said, again, it's died down. Maybe they'll just, you know, put it on sale to see if some people buy it. Fortnite, of course, is plateauing a little bit, or has plateaued quite hard actually. And Star Wars is going down. Now, naturally, Star Wars still has hope, and there's still being money pumped in. For example, Taiki Waititi, I think that's the name. Beautiful director, has scored a new Star Wars contract for a new movie. So very interested to see that one play out. And of course, assuming that internally Star Wars isn't bickering and fighting again, and that things go wrong. We'll also have to see, but if that's the case, you know, and that movie does well, and you know, The Mandalorian, the next season, they put those skins of both the movie and the new series in, I'm pretty sure they will sell a lot more. But that being said, we're getting to the rambling phase. This was another episode of the Business Behind Gaming. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something new. This was Whelsko, signing off.